Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it is possible that a fucking doll could be the Raw Women's Champion. It's Lost to the Midcard. Here we are, damn near the middle of June. We got a couple of pay-per-views to preview this week. We've got Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds, which, as I was looking at the results of last week's Impact, I realized, I never watched Impact last week yet. Oops.
Oh well.
Again, yeah. It hasn't been great lately. So.
I mean, it's been fine. It's just with so much wrestling on the TV right now. It's not must see. Let me put it that way. I still prefer it to Raw.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Raw was pretty good until the end.
Raw was passable. I think people are giving Raw a pass nowadays, because Raw has been so bad and so terrible that when they do just a mediocre show, people think it's good.
Yeah.
I really think that's where we're at in the whole, world of Raw at this point.
NXT Takeover in your house, as Doc Hendricks reminded us this week, is this Sunday as well. So we'll cover both cards at the end of the show here. We got a good amount of headlines this week to talk about and some television. But first, thanks to SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard and hit that subscribe button. That way, every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday, like you've got right here. But subscribing always helps, because sometimes we will come at you at a different day. So always be sure to subscribe. We're also on YouTube, and the links to everything on our brand new website, thanks to our buddy Mark Cho. Go to litmcpodcast.com. Links to everything. We got Twitter at LITMC Podcast. You can go to Facebook, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. And you can also follow me on Twitter at JB Huskers. And as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Tired, brother. It's been a long day, but there's pro wrestling to talk about, and I guess that means we're here to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know if there was much to talk about, but there's a lot of headlines this week. Jesus.
Yeah, see, there's a lot to talk about.
Like, AEW was maybe one of the lackluster Dynamites of the year.
I actually thought it was a really good episode. I thought the main event kind of fell flat, but other than that, I really enjoyed Dynamite Friday night, especially since I turned off SmackDown halfway through.
Well, I mean,
I think it's really the first time in forever that I've actually turned off SmackDown. But it got on my nerves so much, I was just like, I'm done. AEW is 140 minutes. I'm turning this shit off.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Smack Talk Live with Dutch Mantel on Friday, so I won't get to watch Dynamite live, but I might pop it in live and then watch the rest of it afterwards or something. I'll figure it out, but or watch it this weekend. I usually do a lot of catch up on Saturday, so maybe I'll catch up before Against All Odds on the pay-per-view. Again, thanks to Mark Cho for putting together litmcpodcast.com. So even a mobile site, if you go on your phone, some easy links there to lead you to our stuff there. Let's talk AEW. Second week in a row on Friday due to the NBA playoffs, and it's going to be on Friday again this week. We kick things.
The schedule is it's going to be on Fridays for the rest of the month beyond the end of the month, which is going to be a Saturday night episode. And I'm not reporting this or anything. This is just my opinion. If the Saturday show does a good number, I think Khan's going to try to pitch TNT to move Rampage to Saturdays. Because so far we've seen that time slot on Friday nights ain't working out so great at the moment.
No, I'm surprised that it's not, just because it's right after SmackDown. So,
Well, SmackDown had the second lowest rating of their history on Fox last week too.
Yeah, I mean, last week we could have blamed it, or the week before we could have blamed it on the holiday weekend, but yeah, they didn't have a holiday weekend to blame it on this week.
I mean, the only thing you can pinpoint is the NBA playoff is taking a chunk. The NBA playoffs are taking a chunk of pro wrestling's audience right now. Both the NHL and the NBA playoffs are ongoing, and shit like that just it eats into the professional wrestling numbers.
Yeah.
Because people want to watch those sporting games live. You can DVR, SmackDown or AEW, and you can watch it, whenever you get the chance. But a lot of people want to watch those sports things live, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I think the numbers will improve dramatically once the NBA and the NHL playoffs are done and in the rearview mirror.
I can't speak for the NHL, but the NBA playoffs have been pretty good so far too. So
I think the ratings are gonna fall off. I think a lot of the popular acts got bounced in the first round, and I think they're gonna have trouble maintaining that audience throughout the course of these playoffs.
Yeah, a good match.
I think the main people they're gonna be watching are people watching hoping to see Brooklyn lose.
Or Chuck gets scared by a snake. That was funny tonight.
You need Jake Roberts.
Yeah, there you go.
Show up, get some dynamite promotion in there.
Chuck hit the guarantee button, and these like performers came out, and one had this big snake, and Chuck just fucking bolted. Inside the NBA is such good shit, pal. But yeah, playoffs have been good. Last night's good. Game with Clippers and Utah was really good. Good ending too. It's been a pretty good playoff so far in the NBA, except for my team.
I hope the Clippers get swept.
Except both of our teams getting knocked out in the first round. But
that's exactly why I want the Clippers to get swept.
With a stupid idea from bad creative.
AEW this week. Kick things off with probably what you could call the main event. Makes sense since you don't want to really put your best stuff on at midnight, right before midnight Eastern. So they basically kicked off with the main event: Young Bucks against Pac and Penta El Cerro Miedo. They announced that Moxley has been injured thanks to the BTE triggers. That's obviously just to give Moxley,
AKA
baby
go
on the
home
way.
and be with your wife.
Yeah, baby on the way. So,
which explains why they didn't win the titles.
Yeah. Speaking of baby on the way, Renee Paquette interviewing Tommy End. That should be a good conversation
who might be coming back to WWE already, but I guess we'll talk about that in the headlines.
Maybe. I don't know if I have that.
What the hell? If you don't have it in the headlines, remind me. We need to talk about that.
Yeah. I don't know if I do, unless if Mike Johnson didn't say it. I don't remember seeing the headline for it. So,
man, who did report that? Trying to remember who reported that. I actually think it might have been Mike Johnson.
Yeah, did I just skim over it accidentally?
When
was it reported?
It was reported today. Hold on, I'm gonna. I think actually, I feel like it was from Mike Johnson. But I'm pulling it up on. Who reported? Yeah, PW Insider. So, you just want the Sportskeeda article? I'll send it your way.
I think I have pulled it up. So.
Okay.
I think I did pull it up, but like the title is misleading.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely newsworthy, something we should be talking about today. So, talk about itchy trigger finger of freaking letting people go.
No, that article is not talking about him coming back to WWE. Huh. This was today.
Yeah, it's today.
Why am I not seeing it? Was it in a podcast, or maybe that's why?
No, it was definitely an article because I remember seeing it. You want the PW Insider link?
Yeah, because I can't find it.
You want the Elite version or the regular version?
Elite, please. Elite.
Scroll through PW Insider real quick. Yeah, there it is.
Ray Phoenix is out of action as well with an injury. You saw, if you watch BTE, you saw what happened to Phoenix. They basically gave him about 11D BTE triggers as well. Young Bucks though against Pac and Pierre Penta, very damn good match. Like we said, probably the best thing that was on the show. That they were pretty smart to put that on right away with coming right out of SmackDown. So that makes sense there. And yeah, that's the article I did read, and it didn't really necessarily say. They just said he was cut too soon, but nothing about him coming back. Yeah, we'll get to it. For we're talking about Tommy in there. Mark Henry.
Dude, it says it right. It says it right there. There's been some talk that Aleister Black was cut prematurely and a push that the company should bring him back in. It's right there in the PW Insider piece.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there's already a push to bring him back in. I don't even know how that works. I mean, I guess that
I didn't read that as that they might be bringing him back, but maybe I'm wrong.
A push that the company should bring him back in tells me that they're thinking about bringing him back. And if that's the case, I mean, I guess they can just.
I'd give them the middle finger.
Yeah, but technically, I don't know if you can, and that's the interesting thing I wanted to talk about later. But we can just talk about it now. When you're still under a 90-day deal with WWE, you're still under contract. Since you're still under that deal, could they just revert it and say, "Hey, we changed our minds. We're bringing you back in"? I mean, would you really have a choice? I'm not sure how that works since you're still technically under contract to the company.
Yeah, so it says here, interesting note that in certain quarters of the company, there's been some talk that Aleister Black was cut prematurely, and there's a push that the company should bring him back in. But I mean, again, that's just who knows who's pushing. So you got to have the right people to push for that to be reneged. Whether or not anything comes of this remains to be seen. But as the shock of releases of last week wear off, there's a feeling that Black was cut too soon and was more the victim of broken promises and a start-stop creative more than anything than he did on his own accord. Well, no shit. During the oral sessions with Renee Paquette, Tommy End said, we're still going to call him Tommy End unless he's back in the WWE.
Until we hear otherwise.
There was a pitch for him to be involved in the Boneyard match to assist The Undertaker at WrestleMania 36, which would have been actually...
That would have been something.
That would have been pretty fucking cool if you ask me. But, well, we'll find out.
It's the big show.
Well, interview with Mark Henry, Tony Schiavone in the ring. Henry said that everybody knows how much he loves the business. He says he's not here to fix AEW because AEW is not broken. He's there to turn the screws, as he would say on Busted Open Radio. Tony asked if Mark was going to get back into the ring. Henry said, right now he's not going to say yes, but he's got a lot left in the tank. We heard that line a while back, huh?
Yeah, dude, we're going to get to see some really cool matches with Mark Henry and AEW, and I think it's going to be really fucking cool.
Man, that was like one of the best swerves in the recent times when Mark Henry swerved John Cena there. That was
you saw he was wearing a salmon shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a funny callback. He decided to break out the salmon shirt for this interview.
I saw the salmon suit what was it now 5 years ago in Dallas at the at Access for WrestleMania. They had the salmon suit on display at Access. Vicky Guerrero makes her way out yelling excuse me and introduces Andrade El Idolo, and it was funny. None of the announcers caught what she said except for Excalibur. No, nobody even paid attention to what she was saying. But yes, the probably one of the hottest free agents. Well, now there's a lot of hot free agents out there now, but one of the hottest free agents out there has officially became All Elite. Andrade El Idolo.
Well, to be fair, the only other commentator at the booth at the time was fucking Jim Ross.
Oh yeah, Shivani hadn't come back.
Who called him fucking Andre El Iglo or whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah. JR does not know his Spanish apparently. That's right. Tony was still working his way back to the booth.
Yeah, Tony was in the room with Mark.
Boy, oh boy. Let's get that.
That's a big signing, man.
Let's get that Andrade Phoenix match going, huh?
I think there's going to be a lot of great matches here, and the brilliant thing about this is AEW now controls that AAA Mega Championship match in August at Triple Mania. Regardless of who wins, AEW still wins.
I bet
AEW keeps that title no matter what.
I bet you Andrade wins that, and then that starts the fall of Omega, because then
I still feel like Omega needs to drop the AEW title first.
Yeah.
Before he drops the other titles. I think it would be a mistake.
Maybe it's the snowball effect that the other titles fall first, and then the final piece falls when Hangman beats Omega at maybe All Out. Or
yeah, I mean they could do that all within a couple weeks span of it. I still feel like losing the AEW title first is the right way to go. Because
Triple Mania Saturday, August 14th.
Because if Andrade beats Omega, then technically Andrade's like, hey, I just beat you for this title. I'm in this company. I should be number one contender for the AEW championship. But I mean, that really throws a wrench into everything that they feel like they're building right now.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they may not start the fall, but at the same time, I mean, he's had that AAA Mega Championship forever.
Well, that's because AAA was got the Ring of Honor treatment, or they went down for a while.
Yeah,
they didn't run shows for a long time.
But I think putting it on Andrade is probably a smart move for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wins at Triple Mania, to be honest with you. And that
honestly, what they should do is it should be some chicanery finish. Like they ain't clean or whatever. And after Omega drops the title, potentially at All Out, they can have Andrade beat Omega on Dynamite and win the AAA championship on TNT.
Yeah.
And they can make a big main event out of that. And AEW could just, promote it on their television instead. Because let's face it, more people are going to see Andrade and Omega on Dynamite than they're going to see them at Triple Mania.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
I mean, Triple Mania has been getting a lot more eyes on it each and every year.
Yeah, but nothing to the amount of what people view Dynamite weekly.
Yeah. I would assume whenever Bound for Glory hasn't been announced yet, I don't think so.
It's normally October.
Yeah, whenever that is, when that ever, that might be where Omega loses the Impact title. I don't think he's going to lose it to Moose.
Well, they're teasing that it might be turned into a triple threat match.
Yeah, with Sammy.
With Sammy. So technically, if they wanted to, which I don't really see them doing this on an Impact Plus pay-per-view, but they could take the title off Omega without him being pinned or submitted.
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to have Callahan beat Moose, or vice versa, they could do it that way.
Mm.
And Omega gets rid of that title without being pinned or submitted. So it's not really a downfall if you think about it.
No, but he's just losing all his belts.
If he's not the one that takes the fall, I don't think it's as bad of a blow.
Yeah. Tremendous signing though, getting Andrade. There's so many matchups that are going to be great. Hopefully they, they'll probably use them right.
Yes, and he does not have creative control.
Nobody
Despite what
does.
dumb Raj Giri has to say over at Wrestling Inc.
Nobody has creative control.
Dude, that guy's been rolling so many freaking times this year. Stop putting out exclusives because your sources suck.
Yeah. People have creative freedom, but nobody has creative control in AEW. Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson take on QT Marshall and Anthony Ogogo as the factory continues to feud with the Nightmare family. Thanks to Ogogo's KO punch, QT Marshall pins Cody. Bad guys get the win. So I guess that's kind of your official way of Ogogo getting his win back, so to speak. Inner Circle come out, and Jericho introduces the Stadium Stampede champions, talking about how Sammy's the hero of the Stadium Stampede, basically your savior of the Inner Circle, so to speak, thanks to pinning Sean Spears. Some pretty good promos. Jericho continuing to cut some great promos. Hager calling out Wardlow, MMA cage fight in 2 weeks. I like that. That should be good. Obviously, it's clear to anybody that it's 1-1, so the feud ain't over yet. So we're gonna have a few matches in between before they figure out whatever they're gonna do for the blow off match between these guys. So good stuff from Jericho and the Inner Circle as always. Orange Cassidy talking about how the best friend's talking about how Orange Cassidy got cheated out of the title match. Cassidy saying it's not over. Kenny Omega is saying that AEW is out to get him. He must be watching the Sammy documentary, Matt.
He's gonna get his documentary released before Sammy.
He probably will. Jungle Boy, that guy's kind of over right now, isn't he?
A little bit.
Great tag team. Good little tag team with partner with Christian Cage as they take on Private Party. I guess Private Party just dresses like they're at the club in the ring now. From now on, they explained that.
They've been dressing like that on Dark and stuff. So
yeah. Dressing like they just left the club. Good little tag match there between Cage and Jungle Boy as they get the win. Jungle Boy tapping out Mark Quinn with the snare trap, of course. Putting him over with the big match with Omega in, I believe, is that the Saturday Dynamite that they moved it? I know.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Saturday Night Dynamite.
June 26th.
Which now looking at the numbers for the past 2 weeks was a very smart call.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Saturday's going to do any better either.
I don't know. Their Saturday one over the summer last year when Brody beat Cody did a really good number.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, remain to be seen, I guess. Team Taz cutting a promo. Challenging Page to pick a buddy from the Dark Order to take on Cage and Hobbs. If you were looking real closely, Hook never took his eyes off of Brian Cage. Don't know if that means anything, but we all know the beginning of the end of Cage and Team Taz is coming eventually. So
I'm wondering if they're going to try to drag this out until Starks can
wrestle again,
get back in the ring again.
Yeah,
because I know Starks getting hurt really put a giant monkey wrench into this entire storyline.
Tony Schiavone comes out to say, and Darby Allin, they have a cool little T-shirt together now that they were wearing that you can get on shopaew.com for all your AEW needs. The fans in attendance chanting, "You still got it" for Stinger, who did a tremendous job at Double or Nothing. They were thanking the fans, and then Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page get on the Tron and said that Sting has been carrying Darby for far too long, and they challenge Darby to a match. So Probably going to be Ethan Page and Darby Allin here pretty soon. The Britt Baker Championship celebration with a bunch of Big Macs in the ring. And ended with Nyla Rose knocking all the burgers down and causing a big mess. So I guess Nyla Rose is your new contender. But it's kind of weird. I mean, that she's a heel, and Britt is obviously a heel. So it's like they like to do that a lot, though, don't they, Matt? Little heel versus heel action.
Yeah, but Britt's borderline tweener at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah, the fans love her because I mean, why would you not love her? So, good promo though by Britt, I thought. Just Eddie Kingston interviewed by Alex Marvez and Pac and Penna show up because Kingston came in and made the save as they were getting beat up at the end of the beginning of Dynamite, and they're saying how they don't need Eddie's help. Eddie saying the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and told him to let that marinate because obviously got to have something for Kingston to do while Moxley is off to be a daddy. Bunny took on Red Velvet in a 7-minute match there with a commercial in between, so we didn't get to see much of it all. Bunny had been using brass knuckles lately to win matches on AEW Dark. Tried to use them here, but it failed, and Red Velvet gets the win. Dark Order in the dressing room, wishing old Johnny Silver, Johnny Hungy, a happy birthday. And Silver said Tony Khan wanted to give him a birthday present and give him a TNT title shot, but he's not cleared to wrestle yet, so he gives it to Evil Uno, which I believe that's this Friday, right, Matt? Uno and Miro? Yes, it is.
Yes,
right
yeah. Miro cut another amazing promo on Twitter about it.
And cut a good promo. His
Twitter promos are awesome.
Yeah, he did a good promo on Dynamite as well, but yeah, the promo he had on Twitter was really good.
You saw the one with the lightning?
No, I saw the one in the boat.
Yeah, he just did one for Uno. Within the last 24 hours, it was very good. Definitely, you want to check it out for sure. Maybe you can pull it up. We could play it for the people.
Yeah,
and let them hear the amazing tones of the Miro.
The the wonders of technology where I can share whatever's playing on my computer.
There ya!
You can hear it. So here we go. This was from 10 hours ago, it looks like. Let's start this over. Here we go.
Evil Uno. This Friday at AEW, you have a shot at the most prestigious title in professional wrestling. And I find your lack of fear disturbing. You are whistling into a wood chipper and you don't seem to understand what's about to happen next. Don't you know that I'm powerful? Don't you know that I'm undefeated? Don't you respect your champion? The only thing that makes me sad is the fact that I won't be able to see your face once reality hits you. But this Friday, I will bend the knee and talk to the heavens. But when that bell rings, I will show you the devil.
Nice. Nice.
So good, dude. He's so good. WWE, let that guy go.
Idiots.
It's insane.
Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler will take on Pac, Penta, and Kingston. 6-man action. Cutler there to take the pin, right? Hangman.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hangman and 10 take on Cage and Hobbs. So Hangman recruited 10 to be his partner. I think -1's going to be there too, if I remember right. If I saw in the promos. Main event time, bull rope match between Dustin Rhodes and Nick Comoroto. I thought it was some pretty solid work there. Good with those guys. If you ever watch the Sammy Guevara vlog, you have to enjoy the fact that Fuego del Sol got involved. in the match and then got lawn darted. And Dustin and Fuego have basically a weekly conversation on the vlog. That's always good. So Dustin Rhodes gets the win there. I was a little surprised, but at the same time, Camarado's still really, really new. So putting him over, I think they probably did the right thing there with having Dustin Rhodes win a bull rope match. Don't you think, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine for what it was. I mean, it was just kind of there.
If it wasn't a Friday night approaching midnight, this would not be a main event of Dynamite. But
yeah, this would have been, honestly, to me, this should have been a match that went on at, like, if we're talking like the 8 to 10 show.
Yeah,
this is the match that goes on like at 8:45 to the 9 o'clock hour. Like, I'm not putting this in the main event slot. But
no.
Look, that's just me. I mean, I look, there's people out there that probably loved it. It's just, the match was fine. It didn't blow me away. To me, it was the weakest thing on the show.
NXT this week, I thought, was a very solid effort. And Austin Theory taking on Oney Lorcan to open things up. I thought they had a pretty damn good match with those two. Lorcan getting the win there. Thought that was a real well done match, real well done opener between two guys there. Didn't think they would get a lot of time, but they were given nearly 13 minutes there to open up NXT. So I thought that was some good work there. Vignette of LA Knight in his big, luxurious mansion, and some pretty ladies in a hot tub and in a fancy car, because you gotta impress the $1 million man. Doc Hendricks, remember him? Michael P.S. Hayes doing a rundown of the Takeover in Your House lineup. Of course, Doc Hendricks was.
We don't get Doc Hendricks and Todd Pettengill together on Sunday, I'm going to be pissed.
Doc Hendricks,
I need that in my life.
Synonymous with the pre-attitude early to mid 90s WWE. Of course, Doc Hendricks was the one that was famously interviewing Steve Austin when Austin 316 said, "I just whoop your ass." We got a promo from Legado del Fantasma. And Bronson Reed shows up. MSK comes out to even the odds, and Santos Escobar makes a challenge, all titles on the line, in a 6-man tag at Takeover, which was accepted. So we will have a winner-take-all match for the tag and North American titles. During all of that, Hit Row Records, they interrupt everything. Swerve and his crew staring down Legado, staring down Bronson MSK. I totally believe that Swerve is probably going to be the one to take that title off of Bronson Reed, Matt.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, if that's the direction they want to go, I would be absolutely okay with that. I thought they were leaning to a crazy 3-way at Takeover. They fucking swerved everybody. No pun intended.
Did you mean to do that?
No, I totally did. But like, I when they came out, I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna get a 3-on-3 match, winner take all.
Then, that would have been insane.
Yeah, dude, I thought that would have been fucking awesome. And then they were just like, no, we're not doing anything. I'm like, oh, that's fucking lame.
We're just here to have the blow off feud between because obviously we had a little bit of beef between Killian Dane and Drake Maverick and whatnot. So Killian Dane taking on Swerve. Swerve getting the win. As I said, I think they're working to push him up the ladder into the North American title picture. So Swerve gets the win there. Candice LeRae talking with Mackenzie Mitchell, does not like the fact that Poppy is in the house, and then said, Indy Hartwell had mentioned how Dexter put on her headphones and cried last week. So she knows he loves her, and Candice is wondering why this is still happening. Cameron Grimes, he's at his rich mansion, lighting cigars up with $100 bills and coughing it up and taking some drinks of expensive alcohol that he can't handle either. So, and then he's giving the massager a massage. claiming he'll carry that $1 million legacy to the moon. Mercedes Martinez was set to take on a jobber, but Xia Li attacked her from behind. She then fended off Xia Li where they separated them and still took on said jobber and won with in 20 seconds. Breezango, Fandango with a tremendous shirt that he was wearing there. Cut in a promo with Imperium. Sounds like they are going to feud with Imperium here eventually. Triple H and Regal talking to Poppy, thanking her for allowing NXT to use her music. Hunter asking when the new album comes out, and she basically pulled up her phone and said, right now, go get it. Dexter Lumis showed up with a drawing for Poppy. They hug. And right when Indy Hartwell walked in, and devastation, Matt. Sad. Triple H's line was pretty funny, though. A little awkward. LA Knight, Cameron Grimes, they show up in their expensive cars. Ted DiBiase's already there. We're here for the priceless announcement. We were all aware or believed that the $1 million title was going to be reintroduced, and these two guys behind me were going to wrestle for that $1 million championship. Little did we know, Matt, it's going to be a ladder match. I like that addition.
Yeah, it should be good shit, pal.
We'll withhold our predictions until into the show. But yeah, ladder match. Didn't expect the ladder match to come out of that. So very, and we got ourselves as you can see behind me, a gold ladder match with dollar bills on them, dollar signs on them. Very fancy there. Brought in I liked how they brought in the title in a fancy case, and I liked that whole segment, Matt. I liked it a lot.
Agreed, 100%.
It's been a real good feud with these guys. It was always a great feud between DiBiase and Grimes, and then we got LA Knight introduced into it to lead into this takeover match. I thought it's been well done. Everrise talking about how they're going to be hosting the pre show. I know Matt's going to tune into that. Matt can't wait for that Everrise pre show. I'll tell you what. Grizzled
Sure, I
young.
will not be watching that.
The grizzled young veterans took on August Gray and a guy that likes to wrestle in his jacket, Eichmann Jiro. And in the middle of the match, Ciampa and Thatcher come out and to taunt them and just sit in the chairs. Grizzled young veterans get the win with Ticket to Mayhem. Cutting a promo how they're saying they've been done with Ciampa and Thatcher for some time now. And Ciampa says, well, you're not going to get a title shot until you go through us. Gibson suggested a tornado tag team match, and Ciampa said, well, I happen to love tornadoes. So they accept. And remind me here, Matt, if you know, they've only fought once, right? With Grizzled Young Veterans winning. That was the Dusty Cup, right? That's the only time they've matched up, right?
I'm not 100% sure that's accurate, but I can't remember one way or another off the top of my head.
I'm kind of hoping that this is like match 2 and Ciampa and Thatcher win, and then they need to have a rubber match. And you know the best place to have that rubber match, Matt? The fucking fight pit.
Yeah. That would be something.
Tag team fight. Okay, I said it on Twitter last night as I was finishing NXT. I said this needs to have a fight pit. This match needs to be in the fight pit, man. Eventually, it's been a great feud. I've loved this feud between those four guys. They show Bobby Fish working out as he's not forgotten what Lorcan did to him a week or two ago. Candice LeRae. Now all of a sudden she recognizes that Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis are a thing. Now she recognizes it. She calls out Poppy. Poppy comes out, says she's not a wrestler, but she knows someone who is. And welcome back, Io Shirai. And she attacks Candice, and then Poppy and Io standing tall in the ring. Got Doc Hendricks back for you. Another Slam Jam update. I wonder if that was brought to you by Slim Jim. Slam Jam brought to you by Slim Jim. There is going to be a pre-show for TakeOver on Sunday. Sam Roberts, Justin Barrasso from SI, and Arash Markazi will be on the pre-show. Then a main event of the evening, Ember Moon and Dakota Kai had a great match until the DQ finish. And then Ember Moon then hit the Eclipse, hit a modified Eclipse, and then hit the real Eclipse on Raquel Gonzalez, which basically tells you she's probably not going to take the title. WWE Booking 101. And what'd you think the end of NXT, Matt, that fatal 5-way face-off? I thought that was a pretty damn good way to set the table for Sunday's main event.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I still think Cross is dropping that belt.
I do too. I think he's getting called. I think there's going to be a slew of call-ups.
No, I don't think there's going to be a slew. I just think it's just going to be him and Scarlett.
I don't know. We'll see. I think Balor's going to get called up. I think.
Okay, look, Balor technically still main roster anyway. So he was on borrowed time down there. Yes, I agree Balor's returning to the main roster, but I don't. Some would argue that he never really left.
Yeah, he's only been in NXT for a year and a half now, so.
Yeah, but he was originally he was only supposed to be there for like 3 months.
Yep.
So
that was a real solid edition of NXT. Good go home show to get us into TakeOver. Like I said, I did not watch Impact last week, Matt. Anything interesting there?
it happened a week ago. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
I know Tony Khan's going to be on tomorrow night's show, so looking forward to that.
Apparently, Josh Alexander and TJP had a hell of a Iron Man match on BTI.
I was just going to say, thank God most of that was on BTI, so I didn't have to watch it.
I heard it was a good match, Matt.
I don't fucking care. I don't want to see anything fucking TJP does.
Jake something and Rohit had a tables match with Jake winning. W. Morrissey took on Rich Swann. Looks like the match never even got started. Jordan Grace, Rachel Ellering had a rematch for the Knockouts tag team titles, did not win. Who do you think goes? Who do you think seems like obviously there's been a little bit of animosity between Grace and Ellering. You think they turn Grace heel at all, or?
I mean, that seems to be the direction that they're heading. So I'm sure that's what they're gonna do.
Diener took on Satoshi Kojima, and Moose took on Sami Callihan in the main event. Looks like it was a DQ there because of Gallows and Anderson. And then Kenny Omega comes out. And so, yeah, I see what you're saying there on the triple threat, Matt.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
It'll be up to Tony Khan.
Would you rather see it as a triple threat?
I think it would have been more interesting to do the triple threat at Slammiversary.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot more, maybe he won't retain here type of deal. I find it very hard to believe that Omega's going to drop the title on an Impact Plus paper.
Right.
And look, maybe I'm completely wrong, but that just doesn't seem like the show where Omega's storyline with Impact's going to end.
No way. I think it's going to be Bound for Glory, to be honest. Who? I don't know. I mean, there really hasn't been anybody that has been built up to beat Omega on Impact. So, shit, Matt, about the only way you can get it off him is have him lose a triple threat match without getting pinned.
Big Cass.
I don't know, man.
They could build Big Cass to it if we're talking Bound for Glory.
Yeah. Another heel versus heel situation there, but dude's a monster. He's been killing everybody on Impact, so it would make sense for him to have be a legit guy to take it off.
Yeah, but I mean, it's June right now. Bound for Glory is what, end of October? He doesn't have to be a heel by then.
Yeah. SmackDown kicking things off like we always kick things off. Roman Reigns coming out saying how he has changed his tune about the Usos getting a tag team title shot, and the Usos are hyped up about it and welcomed us back to the penitentiary and so on and so forth. Again, clearly the best, some of the best storytelling WWE's done in years. To be able to flesh out a lengthy story like this and still keep it good is something WWE has not done in a long time. And so they continue to do good stuff here with the Usos, Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns. Rumors, the rumor mill, Matt, speaking that maybe somebody's going to be added to the fold as well. Who? We don't know, but
they're going to need somebody if Roman's facing John Cena at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yep. So we lead into the SmackDown Tag Team Championships with Rey and Dominic, and good match between these guys. They basically went about 15 minutes, so we got a good quarter of SmackDown was dedicated to the promo, and then this tag team title match. Jimmy had his right shoulder up clear as day, and the referee didn't see it. So, but the ref's decision is final. Rey and Dominic Mysterio retain. But of course, we all know that was not going to be the end of things, considering how much they kept bringing up. And Roman Reigns, pissed off, tells Paul to bring the Usos. And so then, even though they complained about the shoulder being up, Roman didn't want to hear about any of that. And so they continue the rift, especially with Jimmy, with Jay and Roman there. And Seth Rollins wearing Grandma's couch, yet another glorious suit. Sat down with Kayla Braxton for an interview, but didn't like the questions, so he took off his microphone. And I loved how he just slowly took it off just to be a dick. Rollins is good. We're awaiting Cesaro's triumphant return to SmackDown. Did he wear I wonder if he wore the sling on Uno today, or I don't know if he had it on last week though either.
No, from what I recall, he only had it on the week they did it live. So
I thought he had it on the very next week too, but I think last week, I don't know, I can't remember now. That was funny that he was selling that on the party.
Then he found out he was getting bummed out of SummerSlam for John Cena and said, "Fuck it, I ain't selling this shit no more."
Right? Yeah, they're trying to make SummerSlam basically WrestleMania this year.
They should seriously. They should still do what I said. Just instead of Cesaro calling a shot for a match at SummerSlam, they should do Cena and Roman, and then when Roman retains, Cesaro comes out and cashes in and beats him.
Yep.
That would be a great way to end that show, and the pop in that fucking stadium would be off the fucking charts.
Yeah. I got an idea on the Raw side of things, but now with all this, what's Vince going to do at SummerSlam, that might have killed my Raw prediction, but
according to Meltzer, as of a week ago, Lashley and Lesnar was not the plan for SummerSlam.
I honestly think
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Based on what I saw Monday, my belief is that it's going to be, I think Kofi's going to take the title off of Lashley at SummerSlam. Unless
I think you're on drugs.
No, that's what I'm sticking to right now.
I would. It is more likely that Drew beats him at Hell in a Cell than Kofi winning the title at SummerSlam.
I just think that whole thing they set up this week, and then the whole thing with where we saw MVP's reaction before he was even, when Kofi won the title, before MVP was signed back with
Kofi could win
WWE.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, if we're talking a Raw side guy winning that briefcase, I could see Kofi winning it. But they're not doing him and Lashley at SummerSlam. That's not happening. And like I said, I think it's more likely we could potentially see Drew McIntyre beating Lashley in Hell in a Cell, winning that title, since if he doesn't win, he can't get another title shot as long as Lashley's the champion.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, let's Drew win it so we can do Lashley and McIntyre again at Money in the Bank the following month.
Fuck.
Don't tell you, like, you think about it, tell me that's not WWE logic booking.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think the seeds are getting sown for Kofi title run. And
after I saw how they treated him against Lesnar, man, I'm never putting faith that they're gonna give him another run again.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fucking squash him in 7 seconds and it never even gave him another fucking shot.
I think looks like we're getting a feud with Street Profits and Otis and Gable.
Also known as the Creative Has Nothing For You match.
Yeah. MVP posted a picture of him posing with the Street Profits. That looked interesting. That was kind of interesting. I was like, I wouldn't mind them joining up with MVP, to be honest with you. Carmella taking on Liv Morgan. Poor Liv. Lost her Ruby.
Dude, you fucking fire her best friend and then you send her out and have her job. Like, what the fuck's this company even thinking, man? At least you can let her go out and get a fucking win on Friday.
Job in 3 minutes, too.
Ridiculous. They're so fucking short-sighted. Dummies, yeah.
Dummy, yeah.
Oh, wait, even better.
It was a stupid idea from bad creative.
This was such a weird scene. Ray and Dominic are leaving the arena, but they're still in their gear.
So dumb, dude. At least make it believable. If they were leaving, they wouldn't be in their boots and gear still.
Fucking put your suits on.
We're just gonna take a shower at the hotel, son.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, we all knew that was gonna be run back there. Bianca Belair cutting a promo. And we got a million Baileys on the Thunderdome Trons laughing at her. That was weird.
Something.
That was weird. Wasn't feeling that segment, I'll tell you that much.
No, it was pretty terrible.
King Corbin taking on Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs. And Nakamura loses in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I hate this. I hate this story.
But then Boogs holds Corbin's leg and Nakamura knocks Corbin down, takes the crown back. I like Boogs and Nakamura. I think that's been a good pairing, to be honest with you. I like that pairing. And Boogs fucking shreds on the guitar, man. I love the theme.
The thing to me is, look, if you want to do this feud, fine. But Nakamura should be winning matches.
Yeah, not losing
instead of losing and then
this
is a comical way for him to get the fucking crown back at the end. To me it's not funny.
It's your classic 50-50 WWE booking that they fall on way too often.
Which I hate with an absolute passion, but you already know that.
We both know. We both hate it. So Commander Aziz cannot be at ringside for the match. So what do? You just have him attack Kevin Owens in the back. That's when I turned
SmackDown off.
Because you knew that Owens was not going to win.
Well, I sent out a tweet like 2 minutes earlier. I'm like, oh, cool. KO and Apollo's up next. I hope we're going to get a great match. And then KO gets jumped, and I'm like, oh, so this is what they're going to do? Fuck this. I'm done.
So he has to
I turned it off. Like, so I didn't need to see an entire match of KO selling his damn ribs and then still losing because I knew that's what they were going to do.
Yeah. I was not home Friday night, so I watched this, I think, Saturday. I can't remember. Good match though, but of course KO working uphill all the way through, selling the injury and all that shit. Apollo Crews gets the win after 12 minutes here. Little DVD on the apron. And that DVD on the apron allowed Crews to get the win. And Sami Zayn comes running down, hits a haluva kick on Owens and talks shit to him.
Because this is the feud that doesn't end, and it goes on and on, my friend. Sammy and KO started feuding, and they didn't know what it was, and they'll continue feuding for forever just because.
That should be on WWE The Music Volume 22. Matt Black singing in that song.
My God.
All right. Main event time, rematch with Ray and Dominic against the Usos. And
I was so confident nothing was going to happen, I didn't even stick around to watch it.
And Roman Reigns says, yeah, you fuckers aren't winning the tag titles. But in Roman screwing the Usos, we may end up getting a Roman Rey Mysterio match at Hell in a Cell that I do not hate. I think that might be cool.
I don't love it either.
Yeah.
I'd love it more if Ray didn't have one half of the tag titles on him right now.
Right.
Like, I'd rather would have had the Usos win the tag titles and pin Dominic, and then Roman beats up Dominic afterwards, and Ray gets pissy and, wants to defend his son. I mean, to me, that all would have made a hell of a lot more sense than the Usos having the job to open and close the damn show.
Yeah, because I'm hearing that eventually the booking plans could be, or that Jimmy eventually is going to come around. I hear that's the long-term booking of this whole thing, is that Jimmy's going to come around and then someone else is going to join the fray. What if that someone else was Joe and they're just swerving us the whole time? Yeah, we released him
because he's not technically part of the family, quote unquote.
Well, who else is left of the family? Whoever's going to join them is not going to be a family member. It's not.
Technically, they are having talks with MLW.
Oh, get Jacob Fatu, who's still holding the title.
I think that would be a huge crossover that they could do.
That'd be tremendous.
And have him be like, the muscle.
Yeah, for Roman.
For like the Usos and whatever. Like Roman doesn't really need the muscle. Roman is the muscle. But it would still be to have an intimidating
Roman's
presence like that in the group. I think that would work out really well, and it would be a nice rub for MLW as well if they wanted to, if they wanted to go that route. Like, I don't know if that's going to work out, but I think WWE has a better chance of striking some kind of agreement with MLW than they have of striking one with New Japan.
Yeah, I think Fatu has crossed 600 days as champion at this point too.
Yeah, I don't know who they're gonna have beat him for that title over there. I really don't. Better not be fucking Davey Richards. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh boy. So yeah, Dominic Mysterio gets the piss beat out of him by Roman to end SmackDown. Monday Night Raw was a good show, though I think I watched the first half of it drunk, but it was a good show.
I think that's why you thought it was a good show.
I had to work at the bar Monday, and so then I decided to hang out at the bar on Monday. And
like I said, I thought Raw was passable. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't a good show either. So I mean, it was a step in the right direction. And then they decided to poop themselves with the main event segment.
Oh my lord! And then
there you go.
Where's
like
it
they
at?
say, all they ever remember is the finish, motherfucker.
Where's it at?
And I remember that shit.
Where's it at? Where's it at? Mike Johnson. It's either Mike Johnson or Dave Shear. Where's it at? I gotta find it here. What is today? The 9th? Okay.
Yes, today is the 9th.
Where the hell is it?
I don't know what you're looking for, so I can't help you.
God, they have. I don't know what. Oh, there it is. Mike Johnson. The end of Raw wasn't terrible as long as there are ramifications.
But there won't be. And we know there won't be. You can't have faith that WWE creative is going to properly follow this up.
Right. Last night's episode ended obviously with Baszler disrespecting the doll, which to me turned her instant babyface.
I wanted her to rip Lily's head off.
Oh, right.
That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the doll's head get ripped off and then chucked into the fucking Thunderdome.
And
that would
then,
have been amazing.
You know what I would have loved to seen? Whoever was the Thunderdome thief would have stolen Lily.
Dude, that would have been amazing.
We
wouldn't have to deal with this garbage anymore.
If you do not know what I'm talking about, I'll have more of that when we go to headlines. But all right, so end of Raw is not terrible. He's saying any horror fan that's seen Child's Play or Annabelle knows this does not end well for Baszler. So and so, you know, he goes over what's been going on. He goes over the play-by-play of what she did, locking herself in a room and all that shit. You know, says it's a strange cinematic way to end Raw. Was it bad? If you wanted pro wrestling to end your pro wrestling show, of course it was. If you expect spectacle in WWE, maybe a little more amendable. As someone who's watched horror films directed by everyone from Tobe Hooper to Wes Craven to J.R. Bookwalter, I know that where they were going for here. And while it's certainly out of place for WWE, you can't argue it wasn't something different. It was something different. I've seen readers complain this ruins the women division. I tend to disagree. Was there a title belt blemished by this? No. Did the Boogeyman ruin the entirety of the men's division when he would worm someone? Of course not. There's going to be good and bad in all wrestling booking, and when you experiment and do something off the wall, you're going to entertain some and turn others off. While this did not, whether this did that or not remains to be seen. But WWE had to know this wasn't going to fly with more of its diehard fans, but they still went with it.
Here's the problem. If WWE had a good track record of taking a storyline and properly following up on it to allow it to make sense, I would be more like, let's wait this out and see what next week brings. But WWE has so consistently shit the bed over the past several years, not being able to follow up their own fucking storylines because they book week to week instead of month to month. Like, I just don't have any faith that this is gonna get any better.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe they have a plan. Like, they didn't have a plan for fucking Bray and Randy. They didn't even know how that feud was gonna end. They literally had Orton win at WrestleMania, and then Raw was like, Randy's like, I'm done with Bray and Alexa. Alexa's like, I'm done with Bray. And Bray's like, I'm done with Alexa. And that's how they ended the fucking story. And we haven't seen Wyatt since. Like, they don't fucking know what they're doing.
Yeah. Mike continues, says, I don't think in a world where Bianca Belair is feuding with Bayley and where Nikki Cross is actually getting used, this is the destruction of the women's division. I'm personally far more annoyed by the booking of some other talents, such as Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. I was far more offended when James Ellsworth was responsible for the finish of the first ever women's Money in the Bank match. To me, the most important thing in any story or angle is the follow-up, which Matt just said they hardly ever do.
Yeah.
Or as Mike put it, it's something the WWE on Raw does not always nail. No fucking shit.
Oh, shit. Understatement of the century by Mike Johnson.
Then he ran into a whole lot of ramifications that could play out over time and whatnot. And
no, I don't believe that this storyline is the downfall of the women's division. To me, all this says is WWE is treating their women's division just as terribly as they're treating their men's division. Everybody's on equal footing.
Yeah, there you go. you wanted equality, you got it.
Exactly. You wanted them to get similar storylines. Well, here you fucking go, pal.
I'll tell you what, if let's say there's no doll involved and this is just Alexa fucking with Shayna, I thought that would have been an okay, maybe not to close Raw, but I thought that would have been a good segment if it was not a doll involved, but actually Alexa fucking with Shayna. I think that would have been a good segment, but the book, like they had been getting everything, in my opinion, they had been getting almost everything right with Alexa Bliss up until the fucking doll showed up, in my opinion. And then it has gone to complete shit. A lot of people.
Yeah, well, the doll showed up the night after WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, a lot of people agree with me. A lot of people don't agree with me that Alexa Bliss has been doing a tremendous job while Bray's been wherever Bray has been. I thought the shit with Randy was really good. I thought everything they'd been doing with her ever since she teamed up with Bray was great. And so this is not me just shitting on that, because I publicly have said that everything they've been doing with her is tremendous. But
No, to me, character-wise, she's played what they want her to do to the absolute best of her ability.
but this
It's the
doll
split
shit
with
is
her and
horrible.
Bray is where they shit the fucking bed.
Yeah, and this doll shit is just terrible.
It's trash. It's complete and utter trash. The only saving grace we have right now, JB, is we are a little over a month away from fans returning.
Yeah.
And when there's a live crowd there, they won't be able to do this shit anymore.
No.
Because it's impossible to pre-tape these vignettes and shit like they used to do, or Bliss would just appear on the turnbuckle and then vanish and stupid shit like that. They can't do that in front of a live crowd anymore. All that shit's got to go away.
No.
So I mean, we
yeah.
might actually be able to peel back this Lily garbage in about a month from now. I thought the whole idea of this stupid Lily shit, truthfully, was to just sell some fucking Lily dolls. But as far as I'm understanding, they're not even on WWE Shop. They haven't even sold them yet.
Like I said,
so what's the fucking point?
Like I said in the open, she's probably going to win the women's title eventually. That'll be the downfall.
Well, there's a lot of fans out there that believe that Lily is now going to possess the body of Shayna Baszler.
Mike Johnson mentioned that too.
So if that's the way they fucking go, look, if it eliminates the doll,
good.
Fine. You know what? I'm so desperate to get that stupid doll off the television. I'll fucking take it. At least that means maybe Shayna won't be 50-50 booked going forward.
I thought, yeah, if they're not ready for Alexa, if she's not physically ready to wrestle yet, with her concussion issues, and she's,
as far as I know, she's cleared.
Is she? Okay.
The whole problem is they don't. It's really hard to book a supernatural character to have an actual match. But we saw this earlier this year when they did that. When they did those matches with Bliss and Asuka, if you remember those.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they're keeping her out of the ring, just because it's an incredibly difficult thing to book.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, as stupid and idiotic as that segment was, I thought Shayna did well in it, considering. So I if she does get possessed, I think she could probably nail that role pretty good. I thought she did really well with the cinematic segment.
Shayna's doing the best she can with what she's been given.
Yeah, I thought her performance was perfectly fine. It's just the material is shit. Raw starts off. Well, we just basically broke down the end of Raw, so we don't have to talk about that again. But so let's go back to the beginning, and focus on AJ Styles cutting a good promo on the tag division. I thought that was really well done. We got ourselves a tag team. Was a battle royale, which was funny because two teams had no partner. With Lindsay Dorado and then John Morrison. I don't know why Grand Metalik was not there. We know why Morrison wasn't there. Or Miz wasn't there because he's hurt. I'm assuming everybody and their dog probably thought RK Bro was going to win it. A nice little swerve. Probably everybody thought either them or New Day. Nice little swerve. Viking Raiders, #1 contenders. I don't hate that, Matt.
I wanted RK Bro to win.
Yeah, give it time.
I think they're pushing their. I don't think they're going to get that title shot until
they're going to win it.
I think they're going to get the shot.
They're winning it. They're winning it at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
they're going to get cheered.
I would agree with that. If they're dumb enough to break up RK Bro without them having a tag title run,
Oh, there's
I might just have
no.
to give up on. I might have to give up on this company permanently.
They just made merch, man. They ain't going anywhere for a while.
I hope so. But look, there were Y2AJ shirts out there too, pal.
That's a good point.
So
That's a good point. And man, that should have had a longer run.
yeah.
We got some segment with Adam Pearce, Sonya Deville, and Charlotte and Rhea, and it's just not been good. That
It's not.
booking
Like,
has not been good.
I'm really curious if Charlotte's being punished for.
Well, now that her man is on AEW TV, it's probably going to go down even worse from here.
Yeah, I'm genuinely curious if like this is their way of punishing her, because she has not been painted in a good light, like in the past couple weeks, and it even seemed like out of nowhere, Sonya Deville, which was backing Charlotte the entire time, is now
that story's gone away
and is sided with Pierce now.
Yeah, that's
I'm like, okay, so we're just gonna ignore that last month of story that
whole she let her in the door when she was suspended type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Viking Raiders happy about the win. AJ and almost show up eating turkey legs, talking shit. Elias and Jackson Riker. I don't know anybody that is interested in that feud. And then to make things even better, they're going to make Riker the babyface apparently in this story. Okay.
Yeah, good luck that working in July.
Right. Oh, right. There you go. And it's kind of Riker has a new look, cut his hair, and I said on Twitter he kind of reminds me of Matt Morgan, and a guy on Twitter goes, yeah, he has about the same idiotic beliefs as Matt Morgan had the same idiotic beliefs as Riker does.
Like they're so fucking, dude. Even when Elias was a heel,
people loved him.
He would get some face pops. You really think people are gonna boo him against this guy in July?
No.
Yeah, like that's how tone deaf this company is at this point.
Yeah,
like they're really that stupid. It's unbelievable.
I thought, as contract signings go, I thought Drew and Lashley was a good one. I thought that was really
that
well
motherfucker done. Broke a table with a sword.
Badass. He called it the Lashley train. I've been saying that ever since the lady's been coming out. The old Godfather's been helping old Lashley.
It's totally been the Godfather gimmick.
Yeah.
Despite what they want to say, they literally took the Godfather gimmick and put it on Lashley.
I popped when Drew called it the Lashley train. But it was a good contract signing, I thought. And yes, the sword through the table was pretty fucking badass. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still feeling this Kofi thing until they change my mind. Probably next week they will.
I was gonna say, give it 2 weeks.
I just think putting all the pieces together, we knew.
I could see him winning Money in the Bank. I genuinely, absolutely could see that happening.
The whole
beating Lashley at SummerSlam, no chance in hell.
The whole story of MVP at a bar tearing up when Kofi won. And now we fast forward to now MVP's in a different position in power and trying to recruit Kofi, and Kofi ain't having it. And I don't know. I just feel like that that's just what I thought coming out of Monday.
I think you're giving WWE creative way too much credit.
Yeah, I guess I'm booking it how I would have been if I was in WWE.
Which is
creative.
Perfectly fine. But I think you are giving WWE creative way too much credit.
Yeah, they should be booking me as the booker. Damn it.
The MVP Kingston segment was easily the best thing on the show on Monday.
Yeah, it was damn good.
Far and away the best thing on the show.
Sheamus looks very weird with non-spiked hair.
Yeah, he looked terrible.
But he's supposed to look terrible. had his nose broken. Ricochet, Humberto Carrillo, good battle. I'm kind of happy they did a double count out because I would like to see a triple threat with these guys. I think it's been a decent little feud. Bright spots are few and far in between on Raw. I think this between these three fellas has been tremendous. I honestly think Ricochet is going to come out as champion at Hell in a Cell, which finally gets him out of catering. But I've enjoyed this with those three guys. I'll just say. After that match is where we got the great segment with MVP and Kofi, and that was, as Matt said, very fucking good. Very good. Loved it. Eva Marie, you ready for the evolution next week? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm look. I'm actually looking forward to it.
You know what? I think I know what's already going to happen. We all think she's going to be this role model, goody baby face, and then the minute she grabs the mic, she's going to be that bitch Eva Marie once again, and we're going to get that heel we all love, we all know and love.
She's got the muscle.
It's all a ruse,
which is rumored to be Piper Niven of NXT UK. So
yeah, some are saying possibly Mercedes Martinez, but yeah,
I don't think so, because she seems to be in a very prominent position in NXT right now. I mean, she even has a fucking takeover match. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be her.
I mean, she's clearly going to lose that match. We're not going to have Xia Li lose her takeover debut with all the shit they built up her on.
Piper Niven hasn't been on NXT UK since March.
Oh, really?
So they might have had her off TV, in preparation for this.
A show I don't watch much at all.
I don't watch it either. I just know for a fact she hasn't been on there since March.
A man only has so much time in his life to watch wrestling. Like I can't even get Dark and Elevation watched either. I didn't even get Impact watched this week, for crying out loud. Corey Graves getting a boner about Eva Marie. I wonder if Carmella heard about that.
Can you blame Corey that Eva Marie looks better than Carmella?
Ooh.
Show me the lie.
Ooh.
Show me the lie.
Ooh.
No lies spoken.
Ooh. I am liking this Mansoor Mustafa Ali. Well, I want to see where this thing this goes.
It's interesting. I don't look. This is another one of those things. I don't have the faith of them to follow through with it.
Hey, at least they're using.
But it's interesting.
At least they're using one of their talents for now. I mean, he's not in the ring, but at least they're using one of their talents one of their best talents on camera with Mustafa Ali. Mansoor is great. We know he's great. They don't utilize him for nearly enough either. Cedric Alexander beating Jeff Hardy, or getting beat by Jeff Hardy, which some people were saying was the wrong call. I'm gonna say no, because Jeff Hardy is one of your highest paid employees. When the crowds come back, this is a guy they have to push.
Yes, the guy needs his fucking wins.
Yeah,
I'm 100% agree with you. Oh, like I thought Cedric was going to win.
Me too.
And I even said in the newsroom, when Hardy came out, I'm like, oh man, Hardy's out here at job again. This sucks. And I'm like, and then he won. I'm like, I stand corrected. So
I have liked Cedric. I've kind of like what they've done. He has got the most annoying, loud voice, probably purposely annoying. But I'll have to ask. He's married to Swole, isn't he?
Yeah,
they're married, right? Just have to ask Swole if he uses that annoying loud voice at home. It is grating. Here's a tag team I wouldn't mind seeing more often. Nikki Cross and Asuka, I thought worked really well together with their personalities, Matt. I thought much like Lana and Naomi worked together before they decided to fire one of them. I
Yeah,
thought
they need more tag teams because they split up 2 tag teams with their firings last week.
Yeah, I think their
There ain't many tag
personalities.
teams left in that division right now.
That's been about the worst book thing of many bad bookings. The women's tag division had been one of the worst booking things they've been doing with when Baszler and Nia were champs and they did the Reginald bullshit and oh yeah. No, but I think their personalities, Cross and Oscar, work so well together. I think it's definitely a good team to pair together. We all knew that.
Speaking of AEW Dark, did you hear that Lance Archer murdered Ziggy Dice on Dark this week?
No, good to see Ziggy. Outlandish. Did he have the fanny pack on?
No, because Archer beat him up in the. It was one of those Archer beat him up in the aisle way.
Oh, I like Ziggy.
Lance Archer beat his ass on Dark. So.
Well, Lance is only doing what I'm asking him to do. I said, Lance, I know you're a baby face, but I miss those days where you just randomly beat the piss out of someone on your entrance, and he's just only listening.
I guess he listened to you, pal.
He does like a lot of my tweets, so he does listen to the fans, not just me. I'm sure a lot of people tweet at him, and he likes a fair amount of them. So, but yeah, he took my advice and beat the shit out of us. Man, I like Ziggy Dice. So that was bad. Man, if a pandemic didn't happen, man, NWA was on a roll with some good talents there. But
and now their Funk is on a roll.
At least they got JTG there now.
Yeah,
there's a promising addition.
And they got Taryn Terrell.
Yeah, wrestling again,
which makes me happy.
We didn't know she was going to wrestle again with them, but she's wrestling now.
Yeah, it was the only thing I cared to see out of their pay-per-view on Sunday.
Of course, I like Nick Aldis. We all know Matt doesn't.
Trash.
Long history.
Hot garbage.
So yeah, back to that tag match. I mean, we all knew that Rhea and Charlotte were not going to get along. I did like when Rhea did the little pat on the head though to Charlotte. I thought that was kind of funny. I did get a chuckle at that. But we all knew they weren't going to get along, and Charlotte hits the natural selection on Rhea. Nikki Cross gets the pin. And hey, Nikki Cross for championship match, right? Come on. She pinned the champ.
At least it would be something fresh.
Yep.
I mean, how can you argue that?
So Mustafa Ali warned Mansoor that Gulak was going to cheat, and he tried to cheat, and then Mansoor got the win after he tried to cheat. So hey, Mansoor was like, oh well, maybe Mustafa was right. Yeah. Riddle backstage looking sad. He was sad because, well, why was he sad, Matt? The imaginary key, he didn't have it. I don't know why this cracks me up with the imaginary key with RK Bro, but it does, Matt.
Because their facial expressions make it everything.
Especially Orton's.
They're both they work so well together.
My God. So Orton gave him the key and then realized that was a bad idea because Riddle did not shut up. He had probably 8 hours of thoughts built into 30 seconds. And then Orton asked for the key back and then threw it in the trash. Oh, those two guys are so good. So good. They got merch now, Matt. But yeah, God damn it. You had to bring up Y2 AJ. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man.
God damn. No, they're winning the titles at SummerSlam.
I really hope. I really, really hope so.
I'm fairly confident on that. Riddle and Kofi Kingston. Again, I mean, we say Jesus Christ, you got the same matches going on and on. But when you have a good feud and you interchange matches like you've done with Woods and Riddle had a fucking tremendous match. And I think that tremendous match led to Woods taking on a future Hall of Famer one-on-one. Got that match. That was a damn good match too. And then we get Riddle and Kofi, again, a damn good match. So, they've been hitting on all cylinders with this story between the New Day and RK Bro. And don't know if it'll lead to a Hell in a Cell match between these guys, non-title. I don't know. But I'd assume so. And then RK Bro gets the win. And then we finally, Riddle gets that pose with Orton that he's been wanting so bad, Matt, that they get that pay-per-view win.
I don't think they get that until they win
the
the titles. Yeah.
I liked how last week how Orton thought about it, but then not yet, kid. But Orton not that happy this week because after Riddle hit the draping DDT vintage Randy Orton, he did the RKO pose, and Randy said, go after him, don't kill time. But
Orton should follow his own advice.
And
like Orton does it all the fucking time.
Yeah. But no, Riddle was pounding the fist, setting up the RKO, but it got countered. Trouble in Paradise thought it was going to land and end. No, Riddle actually avoided that, went for the Bro Derek, but then Kofi got out of the Bro Derek and hit the Trouble in Paradise to get the win in a tremendous match. And that ended Raw, right, Matt? That was the end of Raw.
Yes, that was it.
All right, on to headlines before we ride off into that sunset. XFL going to have a little competition this year. I guess everybody thinks they can start up a business with fans back in the stands. So the USFL, of course, was launched by old Donald Trump in the 80s and lasted, I think it lasted quite a fair amount of time, a few years at least, I think. But the USFL is coming back. Fox Sports is going to be the broadcast partner. So, hey, I guess, more power to you, right? More options to watch football during the spring or early winter or late winter, right?
Yeah, it's gonna fail miserably.
Think so?
Yes.
What do you think about the XFL?
It has a chance to survive with The Rock running things. We'll see how it goes. I got more faith in that doing something than the other thing.
Who's running the USFL? Let's see here. They did go for 3 seasons into 85 is all they lasted. I think there was a 30 for 30 on the USFL, if I remember right.
I know there was on the XFL.
Yeah, that was very good. I'm not seeing who.
If you can't even find out who's running the damn thing, that's probably just all you need to know about.
It says Fox Sports has a minority stake. Brian Woods is the co-founder of the new ex-USFL. I don't know who Brian Woods is. Maybe Xavier's brother. I don't know. It says Fox has a minority stake in the ownership.
Yeah, like the fact that we don't know who the actual owner is suspicious as fuck.
It was me all along.
Shut up!
AEW ratings fell last Friday. We thought maybe Memorial Day weekend was maybe a reason why they only had about 526,000 viewers, but no, only 462 tuned in for Dynamite last Friday. As we now, makes all the sense in the world why they're going to TBS next year, right?
Yeah, I had enough of this preempted shit.
SmackDown got a little boost this week, up to 1.88 million, up from 1.76 last week. So a nice little boost back there for SmackDown on Friday. Raw brought in 1.64 million viewers, which was up from 1.55 last week. And I guess we do have to do our journalistic duties, Matt, and mention that 1.1 third hour from Raw was an error last week.
So that's what WWE wants you to believe. Dun dun dun. Nick Khan controls the ratings. Nick Khan single-handedly shut down Showbuzz Daily.
And the 3
digging
hours,
down the conspiracy rabbit hole, brother.
Okay. Nick and Tony are separated at birth too, right?
It's the ultimate plan to kill WWE. Nick Khan's killing it from within.
That's interesting, though. Raw really didn't have that big third-hour drop-off, even though they had a turd to end it. They only lost they stayed at 1.6 for all 3 hours, so that's something you don't see every day. But and NXT basically kind of par for the course since they've moved to Tuesdays. 669, literally up 1,000 from last week. Kind of par for the course for them on their viewership. Tom Phillips on Twitter took to Twitter and talked about his WWE release. Thanking everybody, I guess, and that's something Carl Anderson says you shouldn't do, right?
Well, not thank WWE.
Yeah.
I get that. I totally get where he's coming from.
But he thanked everybody that was that worked close alongside to him, and didn't realize his real name was Tom Hannafin.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to be out of work for too long.
Impact could use a new commentator.
Striker's doing good.
He hasn't been on in weeks. It's been back to Josh Matthews and D'Lo.
Yeah, he's on assignment. I don't know why, but
quote unquote.
Speaking of Impact, good segue there, Matt, because they announced on last week's Dynamite. Yeah, last week's Dynamite. Last week's Impact on Access. Fans are coming back. Slammiversary will be the first show with fans in nearly 16 months on July 17th. So it'll be good to see the fans back on Saturday, July 17th. Yes, I hate these Sunday pay-per-views because I work my bar job on Sundays, damn it. Sometimes it's hard to get people to work for you.
I was so fucking pissed off when I saw All Out was on a Sunday. I'm just like, motherfucker.
We move along. Moving along. Vice TV is going to debut a China documentary on June 17th. They released a trailer on their YouTube channel last week. So that'll debut there on June 17th if you got Vice TV. Well wishes to ROH Tag Team Champion Tracy Williams, struck by a car in New York City. He posted on Twitter. Firstly, I'll be okay. I got full on hit by a car yesterday crossing the street. Guy blew a red light going about 25 miles an hour. I flew for what felt like a full second and landed high on my back. Just unbelievably lucky and grateful that my dog, who was walking with me, somehow did not get hit, and she's okay. So God, get well soon there, Tracy. That just does not sound good. He went on to say, I'd take a hit for her any day, and it could have been so much worse. There are a lot of things about it that were lucky in a weird way. Like, it's lucky this asshole idiot driver hit a 32-year-old pro wrestler, not the old couple that was crossing the other side in front of me. So, man, get well soon, Tracy. Jesus. List of upcoming additions to Peacock, the WWE cock. They've added the John Cena Experience documentary from 2010. That definitely means he's coming back, right, Matt? They added him to the Peacock.
Oh boy.
They have added the Greatest Superstars of the 21st Century documentary from 2011. After the Bell with Corey Graves. I don't know if they've added them all or if that's just they added the most recent one. I don't know. I don't watch or listen to it. The 2017 WWE Network exclusive Kurt Angle. Oh, it's true. It's true. WWE Network exclusive from 2015. Mick Foley. Have a nice night. 2011 Randy Orton documentary Evolution of a Predator. They added the Rise and Fall of WCW. Why don't they fucking add the Rise and Fall of ECW? I've been wanting to watch that again. True Story of WrestleMania from 2011 documentary. The Rock versus John Cena Once in a Lifetime documentary, except that was not once in a lifetime. And John Cena's Greatest Rivalries from 2015, as well as This is NXT documentary from 2019. So a lot more stuff getting added to the old Peacock. Impact Wrestling announced that Slammiversary officially sold out in 20 minutes. So if you're looking to go, you might have missed out. AEW announced at the Double or Nothing Fan Fest that Wrestle Buddies are coming back. You remember those things? Did you have those when you were a kid, Matt?
Yep.
The old stuffed wrestlers. Kenny Omega, Darby Allin, Cody Rhodes, Luchasaurus, all posing with their own. Aubrey Edwards getting her first ringside collectibles action figure from AEW. That's pretty cool. That was announced, I think, at FanFest as well. SummerSlam has been announced. It'll be taking place Saturday, August 21st in Las Vegas at the new Allegiant Stadium, home to the Raiders and UNLV Rebels. The stadium can fit up to 72,000 fans for football, so a little more probably for a WWE show. They made the announcement during the Belmont Stakes this past weekend. Tickets go on sale officially June 18th. Any idea, or have you heard anything through the grapevine, Matt, of why this is a Saturday pay-per-view?
I heard that's what the venue wanted it to be.
Okay. The Tampa police are looking for a suspect that has robbed the Thunderdome. The perpetrator sought for grand theft after removing items from the Thunderdome just hours after a SmackDown taping. They didn't say what he took though, so I don't know. Did you hear any more on it, Matt, of what he might have took? Or
He definitely took a championship title because it's seen in the pictures. It looks like the old Raw Universal title. But other than that, like nobody really knows for sure what he got.
should have took Lily.
Yeah, I would have been there for that.
Yeah, so NWA had a pay-per-view this weekend. I don't know, anything interesting happened in it?
Nope.
Terrence Terrell. Kylie Ray is officially signed with the NWA.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how long that lasts.
Right. Considering her track record of late.
Yeah, there's no way I would put that girl to a contract.
More ECW TV and WWE documentaries have been added to Peacock. ECW Hardcore Television episodes from 96. The Ultimate Hogan Anthology from 06. Life and Times of Mr. Perfect documentary from 08. Ricky Steamboat documentary from 2012. Click Rules documentary from 2015. A Hardy Boys. Nope, that's just an interview. The 2018 House Hardy Halloween special. And a couple other things. Still no Rise and Fall of ECW. Damn it. Major news coming out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Shingo Takagi defeated Kazuchika Okada to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Dominion earlier this week. So you surprised at that one, Matt?
Yes. Yes.
Some think Okada might be hurt.
I have not heard that.
New film project for The Rock, because, well, Rock ain't busy, is he? His production company going to produce a movie called Emergency Contact for Warner Brothers. It'll be headlined by one of the executive producers of The Watchmen. More stuff added to the network. let's see here. That's actually more just of current shows, though, so that's not really much to talk about, so to speak. Deonna Purrazzo, of course, your Impact Knockouts champion. She's going to make her AAA debut on July 3rd and taking on Lady Shani at the Worldwide's Verano de Escandalo show on July 3rd. So a little more crossover with AAA in Impact Wrestling there for you. If you have a Samsung Smart TV, good news. Peacock launching on those as of yesterday. So you can now add the Peacock to that if you did not have a Roku or a Fire Stick or something like that. And Cody has announced there's going to be a big announcement for Dynamite. A lot of people think it's going to be the introduction of the Trios Championships. Do you think that's what?
No, it's not.
What do you
He
think?
he already said that he already said it was just a match announcement.
Okay.
Like, people are just jumping to fucking conclusions that don't make any sense. Why the fuck would Cody Rhodes announce a fucking Trios Championship?
Well, he's the EVP, so
who fucking cares? It still doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, John Moxley is going to be busy with Baby for a while now. So who's going to take over his throne to invade indie shows and beat people up? Matt Cardona, baby. Matt Cardona showed up to GCW, hit in a hood, and hit Nick Gage with a paradigm shift before taking off the mask and revealing himself. I thought it was pretty cool to see Cardona do some of that stuff, Matt.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hey, oh man, they didn't like it. They thought they were getting Moxley, didn't they?
Oh well.
Here's Mike Johnson confirming that Andrade does not have creative control with AEW. Everything goes through Tony. Layla Hirsch versus Nyla Rose has been added to Friday's Dynamite as well. Pinnacle addressing their Stadium Stampede loss also added. Darby Allin responding to the challenge of Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky as well are going to be added to that Friday show. Promotion AEW returns to the road full time July 7th in Miami, Florida.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Dark Side of the Ring this week will focus on the late Dynamite Kid. So this will be the final episode of the first half of season, I believe, was it 3? I think season 3 of this. Yep. The second half of the season will hit this fall on Vice TV. Miz did an interview with Sports Illustrated talking about what he's read about his injury. So he refused to comment what specifically he happened. So, what do we believe, Matt?
Who cares? The Miz could have greatly benefited by being off TV for a couple months. His act is incredibly stale right now.
Yeah. WWE abandoned the registration of the Collective trademark, which was a trademark that had been used by Game Changer Wrestling as the title of their annual promotion over WrestleMania weekend. So that raised some eyebrows when WWE decided to take up that trademark, but they abandoned it. Mike Johnson confirming that going forward, they are planning on Riker being the babyface of that feud.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh, brother. Best of the World coming up July 1st for Ring of Honor. They've announced that Josh Woods will take on his former partner, Silas Young, in a last man standing match. Also on the card is, for the first time ever, Jay Lethal and Brody King. As we mentioned, Tommy, and talking with Renee Paquette about the slow death of Aleister Black and more stuff. Also, has been announced that his first post WWE appearance will be a signing in New York City on November 14th. So yeah, go check that out on Renee's channel there. It should be a good conversation. They've announced that Madison Square Garden is going to be reopening to full capacity. So for the first time since the pandemic, they're going to open to full capacity for the first time with a Foo Fighters concert on June 20th. And this will be the first show at MSG in over 460 days. Probably won't be surprised that WWE will be heading there very soon, I would assume, now that that's been announced. Mickie James has joined the NWA, announced that she's going to be executive producing the first ever all women's pay-per-view for the promotion. And
claims that she's not wrestling on it, but I don't believe her for a second.
Well, doesn't she have a 90-day?
If she had a 90-day, she wouldn't have been able to appear on NWA Power this week. So somehow she got out of it, just like Andrade got out of his.
I was gonna say, does that count?
Oh no, dude, you can't appear on another pro wrestling show.
Yeah.
So clearly, somehow she got. You know what? Probably that trash bag thing got her out of it.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Probably like, yeah, we're gonna let you out of that whole ordeal.
Do you think that
please,
was that
please
was?
Don't sue us.
Do you think that was a lot of Mark Carrano, or was he just the fall guy on that? I mean, I always
Oh
thought he
no,
was
I definitely think it was Carrano.
Yeah, I always thought he was a pretentious douche on Total Divas. So,
It's the bill.
NWA will return to St. Louis for dates August 28th to the 31st. There will be 2 pay-per-views during that weekend. The first will be an all-women's pay-per-view on Saturday the 28th, and be called NWA In Power. And the second pay-per-view will be NWA 73 anniversary-themed pay-per-view at the Chase Ballroom in St. Louis on Sunday the 29th.
NWA's best bet here is to sell both pay-per-views as a package on Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you right now, there's going to be interest in their women's show.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's going to be interested in that fucking NWA 73. So your best bet, Mr. Corrigan, is to sell them both in a package deal. So you make people buy the other ones just so they can watch the women's show.
You are right there, sir. More stuff added to the cock. Hall of Fame from 2004 to 2019 have been added.
2019.
You look what I did there.
God.
Ultimate Warrior Legend documentary has been added. 40 matches that define the Intercontinental title. The Nigel McGuinness story called Chasing the Magic. Breaking the Code, Behind the Walls of Chris Jericho documentary, and the entire series of Legends House, which was a tremendous show in its own right of comedic fun. With
really sad how many people are no longer with us that were on that show.
Right? God.
Very, very sad.
God, who? Pat, Mean Gene, Piper. God, anybody else? Those are right off the top of my head.
I feel like there were more. I can't remember everybody on the cast, but I feel like at least half of them aren't with us anymore. Just really sad stuff, man.
Well, thank Reddit again for boosting a stock. This time it's WWE stock. They hit a 52-week high today, June 9th, closing at 68.43. It went up by 10.28 over yesterday. But a lot of jabber in that. Is it Wall Street Bets, or I can't remember what that Reddit channel's called.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
a lot of bye bui, not in sync song. A lot of bye of the stock because of fans coming back and the bottom line getting trimmed with a lot of releases. A lot of experts thinking that now's the time to buy. Leo Rush announced that he had suffered a separated AC joint at Double or Nothing and has yet again retired from pro wrestling. This guy's starting to catch funk on retirements, Matt. I don't know if I'm buying it. What did you think when you heard of that news?
Yeah.
I don't know. WWE Shop has released Riddle flip-flops. What took him so long? Go catch the party. We got a little tag team Uno tonight on the party. I see on the bumper card, Matt, new deck. I'm gonna probably watch this. Probably what I'm gonna watch after we get done recording. Have you watched it yet, or this week's Uno, Matt?
No, I have not.
Yeah, new deck. I've checked that out. The Immortals Phoenix Rising, which I have the game on PS5. I've yet to play it, but I still cannot follow the rules of that damn deck on Uno, man. I have no idea how that fucking deck works. And let's see here. Shotzi Blackheart is injured. She confirmed on Twitter. Get well soon. Mike Johnson, PW Insider, saying that he's heard from independent promoters that have reached out to Braun Strowman for an asking price, and that asking price is currently in the 5-figure range for a single appearance. They're told, I saw the story also earlier in the week, that Strowman was pretty smart with his money and does not need to immediately run out and take a lot of bookings like some people may need to do, because Vince paid him for a while and he was smart with his money. So all right, man, we got 2 pay-per-views coming at you this week. Against All Odds on Saturday for Impact Wrestling. NXT Takeover in your house on Sunday. Let's go down the cards, make our predictions. First off, Against All Odds, Impact. Knockouts tag team titles, Fire and Flavor against Kimberly and Susan. They just got those titles back, man. I don't think they're going to lose them on an Impact Plus show.
Well, they want them back on an Impact Plus show. But yeah, I don't see them doing that either.
They're one of the best, probably the best team in terms of like how well they work together, charismatic and things like that. They're literally a team where there aren't that many other tag teams that are, you could say that in the Knockouts division. So yeah, I fully expect Fire and Flavor to retain. Fatal 5-way to determine the number 1 contender for Josh Alexander. Your contenders are Petey Williams, Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Rohit Raju. Matt, who do you think comes out as your new number 1 contender for Josh Alexander?
Probably Chris Bay.
Yep, that was my my feeling. There is Bay is going to win that. I would not be surprised if they gave it to Petey Williams. And they have a hell of a match. I would not be surprised. Bay's my first choice. Williams is my second choice. Rich Swann with Willie Mack against W. Morrissey. I think they're gonna push Morrissey to the moon. Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah, I don't see him losing anytime soon. They definitely seem to have the machine behind him right now.
Violent by Design, invoking the Freebird rule. And so Diener and Rhino are going to team up to take on Decay, Black Taurus, and Krasny Steve. I don't see Decay winning this, Matt.
Probably not.
As Decay also, Rosemary will take on Deonna Purrazzo for the Impact Knockouts title. I not with Deonna going down to AAA soon. I don't think she's losing that title on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then we got a couple of Japanese veterans, Satoshi Kojima taking on Joe Doring. I assume Kojima is going to beat Doring up. Joe Boring. Got to go with the New Japan guy there, right?
I don't think you bring him in to have him job the fucking Joe Boring.
Nope.
Like,
Now
I sure as fuck hope not.
You're using my name now.
Well,
there you
because
go.
it's a decent name. The guy fucking sucks.
And then well, right now on the card it says Kenny Omega versus Moose, which would be an Omega win.
Yeah, because they're not going to change that until the actual segment happens.
Yep. So if it is a triple threat, do you think Omega loses the title being not involved?
I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to happen on a show like this. But I wouldn't be surprised when he eventually does lose it if it's in a multi-man match.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, because you really, you look, you just said it yourself earlier. Morrissey may be the only guy that you can build at this point to have a believable run and take it from him. Because he'll probably bulldoze Rich Swann, former champion, right there. So I think you're completely right on that's a guy that could take it off of Omega. NXT Takeover in your house. 5 matches on the card. Pre-show match has not yet been announced. Sometimes they don't do pre-show matches, so there may not be one here. 6-man tag match. Winner takes all. North American and tag titles on the line. Bronson Reed and MSK taking on Legado. I think the good guys retain because I think we're going to get a Bronson Swerve feud eventually. So I feel like the good guys retain here. Matt, you agree?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Women's championship, Raquel Gonzalez taking on Ember Moon. Who do you got there, Matt?
There's no way they're taking it off Gonzalez already.
No.
It's not happening.
And there's no way they're going to have Xia Li lose her takeover debut to Mercedes Martinez, correct?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think the only match that's up for debate is really the main event.
Well, there's one up for debate here. The ladder match for the $1 Million Championship.
It's got to be Grimes, man.
Cameron Grimes. And
it has to be.
And my boy.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's a gigantic mistake. They don't put it on Grimes. Like, and I love LA Knight, and I've hated seeing the way they booked them. But, like, if you fuck over Grimes here, like, what the hell are you even doing?
I honestly think this goes on the heel. Cameron Grimes is the babyface. I think LA Knight's going to win this. That's just not me.
I hope you're wrong.
That's just not me being, a big fan of LA Knight.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I feel like the belt has to go on the heel, and then you still continue the feud because this feud is still new. LA Knight didn't come into the feud until 3 weeks ago. I think you eventually have Cameron Grimes jump through hoops and he eventually wins that title, but LA Knight wins it in this match, and then Grimes has to crawl and scratch for it and do the babyface thing before he finally wins that match. That's how I see it playing out, Matt.
I hope you're wrong.
Who's the last one to hold the $1 Million Championship? Ted DiBiase Jr., April 5th of 2010. And then it was returned to the $1 Million Man in November of 2010. Only 4 men have held that title. the Ringmaster. We all know that gimmick. And then Virgil had it for 77 days for a while in 91. Before, of course, Ted DiBiase, your other one. Ted DiBiase has officially held the belt for 1,010 days. So we will have a fifth person to ever hold that belt on Sunday. Main event, Fatal 5-Way. Karrion Kross, your champion, taking on Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Bebe, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is I can't remember who called him that. I forget now. But anyways, this is been a hell of a good build. You got 5 tremendous talents in this match. This match is gonna fucking tear the house down. Who you got?
This is hard.
I got mine.
I think it's anybody but Cross.
Yes.
It's probably going to be Kyle O'Reilly, but I'd put it on Cole. So we'll see what they do.
I'm gonna swerve you, playa. I'm putting it on Pete Dunne.
I wouldn't hate it, but I don't think he's gotten enough behind him to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Adam Cole's been on fire.
Because to me, it feels like they're really sticking with that. They did that whole Bobby Fish thing. It was like, I'm not done with you guys yet segment on NXT. And I'm just like, if he's not done with them yet, they're not putting Bobby Fish in a feud with the NXT champion.
You know what?
So
I'm changing my mind. Because I just thought of something. They're not done with O'Reilly and Cole.
Yeah, if one of them wins the title, they can feud over it.
I'm putting it on Kyle.
Ka! And he's been doing a lot of media this week too.
Screw you,
so,
I'll put it on Kyle.
They're getting Kyle out there in the media.
Putting on Kyle. And then Adam Cole, Bebe can feud with Kyle for it. I mean, you honestly can't hate any of these 5 guys walking out as champion, can you? Fucking the way's been great. Gargano's great. Johnny Takeover. You know,
like to me, like I said, to me, the only person I can't see leaving with the title on Sunday is Cross. I feel like this is their way to get the title off him without him taking a fall, and then he goes up to the that main roster in the sky.
To the moon. Who do you feud him with? Who do you feud him with first up there? You put him up on the top right away or what?
Dude, I don't trust WWE Creative to do anything right. So I don't know what they're gonna do with him when he gets up there.
Watch he retains. It says, yeah, we ain't bringing him up.
Look, if they were fucking smart, they would book him as a monster and have him crush people for 2.5 months. And it would be him and McIntyre for the title at SummerSlam.
The old Ryback, the old Ryback, Braun Strowman,
Yeah, but I'd be doing it to people that like actually semi-matter. Like I'd be doing it to like fucking Drew Gulak and people like that. Like do it to name people. Yeah. And I would have Drew win the title back at Hell in a Cell, and I would do McIntyre and Cross at SummerSlam.
I don't hate it.
I don't think they're gonna do it, but that's what I would do.
Fuck. Nope. If only we were booking, man. We would be doing a lot of stuff they aren't doing.
Well, we wouldn't have squandered so many talents from NXT over the past 3 years if we were booking. You know, Vince, it would actually help if you watch the product, your own product of the show that you're pulling these people from, so you had some fucking kind of idea of what to do with them when they got up there. That'd be really nice, Vince. It'd be really fucking nice.
We would have. Well, I say we would have. We probably predicted to pull the trigger on Braun Strowman 3-4 years ago. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things we probably predicted that should have happened but didn't. But anyways, oh well.
Dumbasses.
AEW gets better. Impact gets better. New Japan gets better. So yeah. That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard and hit the subscribe button. That way, you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically on Thursdays. But if you subscribe, you'll know if it comes at you at a different time. Of course, we will also announce on Twitter and Facebook if it ever comes out at a different time. And links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast. All of it together on our brand new website, litmcpodcast.com. Thanks to Mark Cho on that. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. You can find Matt on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. And before we ride off into that sunset, look forward to yet another glorious weekend of wrestling. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I hope we get a good weekend of wrestling. I hope WWE actually follows up on the stupid ass Lily storyline next week and actually does something coherent and actually makes sense. But I don't foresee that happening.
Sorry, I had to cough there. Yeah, I think we're going to get a good weekend of wrestling. I think Against All Odds is going to be entertaining. Some good matchups there. I mean, I think Rosemary and Deanna is going to do well. If they add Sammy to make it a triple threat, I think that's going to be a very solid main event for everybody. That 5-way, X Division never goes wrong. So that 5-way is going to be a lot of fun as well. So I think Saturday is going to do a very solid. It may not be overly wowing or spectacular, but I think Impact will give us a solid night of it. And I don't know what to expect with with some of the matches that take, I don't know what to expect with Xylee and Mercedes Martinez. Hopefully they deliver. That's about the only question mark though, because I feel like the other 4 matches are going to be a lock to deliver, especially with, I think that 6-man tag is going to be phenomenal. The main event is going to be probably a nominee for match of the year. I would not be surprised. So, we got a great weekend ahead of us. Matt and I are going to be back on next Thursday to talk about it all. So for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning into Lost in the Midcard, and we'll be back at you next week with our reactions at Against All Odds and Takeover in your house.